Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome to the second video in the series of the 10-day metabolic challenge that I am doing to myself. I'm your old Dr. Kathleen Nash with Butterfly Evolution, and I wanted to hop on here in between clients. Today is a busy day. I have a lot of appointments actually today, and talk to you a little bit about how day one went of my 10-day metabolic challenge. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about goals and about obstacles. So first of all, let me just do some basic house cleaning about how the series is going to go. I'm going to reveal the change in my scale weight and the change in my body at the end of the 10-day challenge. So I purposely am not telling you about it as I'm going through. I will give you little tidbits here and there of how my body is doing, because I think it will be relevant to how I maneuver the 10-day metabolic challenge. If you understand how I've been losing and what might I do to tweak and compensate that, stuff like that. But as far as like the big reveal, that's going to be at the very end. So after day one, I am down almost a pound. I'm down 0.8 of a pound. Now, just know I have been slowly losing weight over the last 10 weeks or so. So I was already in somewhat of a calorie deficit. I had already been doing a couple cycles of my program, my full program that I do with my private clients before I moved into this challenge. If I had not done that, then chances are I would have seen a bigger movement on the scale from yesterday to today, because there would have been more water, more inflammation, more glycogen, which is the fuel that lives in your liver and your muscle. There would have just been more of that to go through, and you would have seen a bigger number on the scale. We all know the scale moves more dramatically in the beginning of a weight loss journey, and it's one of the reasons why when I do a 10-day challenge, I make it go 10 days and not just 3 days or 5 days, because I know in the beginning you are going to see more of a shift as a result of things like water and glycogen. I don't want you to think that the changes that you're seeing are just coming from changes in water weight. So just know that's one of the reasons why I do it for 10 days, is so that when the weight begins to slow down, I can talk you through that, tell you why, and give you strategies. So almost a pound as a result of yesterday. Did everything yesterday the way that I wanted to. But of course, whenever I decide to change something about myself or improve myself, if I make any kind of a declaration of change, I usually get hit with some kind of obstacle. Now, one way that I try to overcome that is I make a very clearly stated goal. And the reason is the brain sort of functions like a servo mechanism. If you've ever read the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, he talks about this a lot, where the brain is a goal-oriented computer. It's deciding and determining what it needs to do based on the goal that has been set in front of it. Now, the thing is, you're setting goals whether you know it or not. If you don't create or declare a very specific stated goal, then your brain is going to be working towards whatever unstated goal that you have. And that's where we can really get ourselves into trouble. So I would highly recommend that if you're going through a weight loss journey or an improvement journey, you want to change something about yourself from one way to another, start with giving your brain a very clearly defined stated goal. So I had already done that work yesterday. Of course, my challenge is lose up to 10 pounds, lose up to 3 inches in the midsection. So those are the goals that I'm putting ahead of myself, right? I'm going to try my best to go for 10 pounds. I'm going to try my best to go for 3 inches in the midsection, from like top of the chest or right under the chest to like the midsection area in those 10 days. And once I created that goal, I wrote it down. And I also created a screensaver and I put it on my phone. Now, that is not something that I learned or I came up with myself. I actually learned it from a mindset coach named Ed Mylett, who talked about how you look at our phone. We look at our smartphones like on average 400 times a day. And so having it on your phone so that every time that phone lights up and you look at it, you're reminded of what the goal is, so that your brain can work and adjust to help you get there. So just so you know, write your goals down, be very clear about what you're trying to do, what your desired result is, and make it finite. Give yourself a period of time in order for you to make the goal achieved. Now, that being said, regardless of how well you plan, regardless of how you keep things in line, you're probably going to be hit with some kind of obstacle that you're going to have to deal with, some kind of objection coming back, some kind of pushback, almost always shows up the minute you make a declarative statement that you're going to improve in some way. Okay, sure enough, that goes on with me too. So today's day 2. I purposely picked this week to do the 10-day challenge because today is Tuesday, May 16th, and my birthday is Thursday, May 18th. So I'm purposely doing this in a birthday week. Why? Because that would be a very difficult social experience to navigate. How do you navigate birthday parties or gifts or dinners with friends or cake or whatever you're going to do while you're in the middle of some kind of improvement offer? So I already purposely did it at a time where I knew I was going to have social obstacles. And then on top of that, I have physical obstacles as well. I have 2 physical obstacles, actually. One I knew about and one showed up yesterday. One that I knew about is that for the last year or so, I've had a touch of plantar fasciitis, probably because I've been doing a lot of walking / jogging type activity on shoes that were really old. And that was just because of the lockdowns. You just couldn't get things, or I didn't buy things. And that problem's been off and on for the last year or so. Some days are better than others, but it is sort of like using shoes that have a pebble in them and walking on that pebble when you walk. So it just sort of automatically puts me in a position where I can't go at my hardest or my highest intensity. I have to take it easy, as it were, not push as hard as I normally would think to. And then the other one is, even though I did everything right yesterday, thought I did everything right, I started developing some tenderness in my left SI joint. I will show you what that is right here. Okay. But it's a very big joint that can cause a lot of irritation when it's inflamed, and it is inflamed. So if I sit for a long amount of time, when I go to stand up, it looks like I'm walking with a stick up my butt, right? Like it's all irritated and tensed up. And of course, that puts a monkey wrench in my program. Now, would I just throw in the towel and say, well, forget it? My birthday is this week. I have pain in my low back. I have pain going on in my foot. Now it's just not a good time to do it. Yes, I could take that route, but nothing good is going to come from taking that route. Instead, I can go through the 10 days and I can ask myself, how, right? How can I get through the pain in my foot? How can I work around the irritation in my low back? What can I do to remedy that? How can I navigate the social situations that are probably going to arise as a result of having my birthday this week, right? And by doing that, not only will I get through this 10-day challenge and push like a beast to get to that goal, but I will have also learned a very important skill set about how to overcome obstacles that are thrown at me, right? So I just thought that I would give you that little bit of nugget of information, tell you everything is going well. I cannot wait to show you, or to tell you, remember, we're going to show you at the end. Can't wait to talk to you tomorrow about how my body did today during day 2. And if you like the idea of learning how to combine metabolic strategies with traditional diet strategies to get an improved or an accelerated result that holds, getting yourself back to a normal weight that will stay there, as well as reducing or reversing metabolic conditions, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help the channel. It really helps the channel grow, helps get the word out. And if you think that you might want to do your own 10-day journey to test out these metabolic strategies and see if they work for you, again, make sure that you keep watching this series, because at some point I'll talk to you about how you can do that. Have a great day. I'll talk to you in the next video.